You only get one life, so it's important to make the most of it. Is it possible to achieve both happiness and success in life? I've been thinking about this for 20 years. And I know that being busy isn't the answer. So how does life work? There are 10 components that make up a successful life. They all fit together, so if one of the parts is weak, then everything slows down. The objective is to enjoy and achieve as much as you can. Live your maximum life. So this is the first video of section 2, reducing the unimportant. And if you're feeling a bit too frazzled in your life, the first thing you should do really is reduce all the crap, reduce all the stuff that you don't want to be doing, that's crowding in on you and occupying your brain and stopping you think about important things like how to move forward. So we've got to reduce the unimportant. If you're just wanting to achieve more and have a better life, again, you want to reduce the wasted time. And if you want to have more fun, you might want to reduce the things that you don't enjoy. So whatever you want to get from this program, the key thing is we have to reduce the time spent on the things that are not important. And for doing that, there are just 5 options. I'm going to talk about the first 2 of them in this video, and then we'll come to the others later on. So the first of the 5 options for reducing the time on the unimportant stuff, reducing, if you like, the poo of life, is to say no. Say no to the things you don't want to do. When I got to the age of about 35, I realised that my life had filled up with stuff I didn't want to do. I was working quite long hours. When I got home, there were just things I had to fix that had been broken or whatever. And where was all the fun? Back in my 20s, I'd spent the time mountain biking and partying and playing music. And by the time I was in my mid-30s, I just had no time to myself. And I just thought, this is not life. And that was when I brought in my NCP, my no crap policy. I want you to think about that. Every time you see an NCP car park, just think, have I got a no crap policy? And I started saying no to things I didn't want to do. I've still pretty much got that as an objective. I don't always achieve it, but I've pretty much got an objective to say no to things I don't want to do. It's my life. I don't want to spend my life doing things I don't want to do. So that's the first strategy, just saying no. Now, at work, you've got to be careful, because at work, you do have to do some things you don't want to do. That's just how it is. But in your personal life, I think saying no is a big thing. And if you could just say no for 1 hour a week, because I don't want you to become some bolshy, crazy person who says no to everything all the time. But if you just said no to 1 hour a week, that would save you 50 hours a year. And that's a whole extra week you could have, a whole extra working week of time you could have to do the things you want to do. So it's amazing how it adds up. So don't do things just because you feel you ought to. Consider saying no. Now, just one final thought about this. If saying yes to something you don't want to do makes a big difference to someone else, then okay, you probably should say yes. If it's going to make the other person very happy and it's only a small inconvenience for you, then do it. But if it's not going to make that much difference to them and it's something you really don't want to do, then say no. It is your life after all. And I've got stronger and stronger about saying no as I've got older, because what I've discovered is by the time you reach the age of 55, you've only got 800 weekends left. Do the maths, it's approximately right. And of course, it might be much less than 800. There could be a big pile up on the motorway this afternoon. Today could be the last day. Sorry to depress you. But the point is, that's why you've got to make every day count, make every weekend count, and every day count. And therefore, saying no has to be the first thing you consider. Now, the second option is a sort of partial no, and this is to negotiate. Now, I think negotiating is a much better option at work, because at work, as I mentioned, you can't really say no to things, but you can negotiate. You can say, I can do it, but not till next week. Or I can do it, but I've only got half an hour. Or if I do this, I won't be able to do the other thing. Which one do you want? So I do think negotiating is an option at work. And again, if you can save just 1 hour a week by negotiating away something, that could save you quite a bit of time. You know, maybe there's a customer who's half an hour away from where you work. They want to have a meeting. If you could negotiate that they come to you, then that would save you half an hour each way. That's an hour saved. Or if you could negotiate to only go to part of a meeting, can I just come to the first part? That could save you an hour. And an hour a week is a whole extra working week per year. So it's fantastic. And I do think negotiating is sometimes an option at home. So for example, suppose you're under pressure to visit some relatives you don't really want to visit or whatever. You could say, well, could we go on Saturday afternoon instead of leaving in Saturday morning? And that might get you 3 more hours of time. Or when we do visit them, can we go out and do a bit of shopping or something like that? So you might be able to get a bit more time to do what you want to do, but still say yes to the visit. So those are the first 2 options, saying no and negotiating. I just want you to think about how you could do those. What are the things that you could say no to at work and in your personal life? And also what could you negotiate over at work and in your personal life? And we will cover the other 3 options for reducing the unimportant in the next few sections.
Live your maximum life.